As a passionate fish lover, you established your first marine aquarium and dismantled it a year later, or even sooner. Numerous factors lead to newcomers losing interest in the marine aquarium hobby. However, the primary reason many beginners abandon it is due to their saltwater fish encountering issues with diseases and parasites. The loss of fish can dishearten both novices and experienced hobbyists alike, but an additional source of disappointment is witnessing financial loss in the form of deceased fish. Such losses can also weigh heavily on an individual's conscience. Although it is impossible to eliminate all instances of premature fish deaths, there are strategies to minimize the chances of these occurrences. Welcome to Loving Pets channel. In this video, we will talk about the quarantine tank and why it's essential for keeping your fish safe and disease-free. The most effective way to stop your display aquarium from turning into a saltwater fish death trap is to quarantine your fish. I can already hear some of you sighing, thinking this will require more money and space. Yes, it will, but it will also be one of the best investments you've ever made. Properly quarantining your fish is essential for maintaining a healthy saltwater fish community in the long term. If you have a reef aquarium, proper quarantining becomes even more critical because treating a sick fish in an aquarium with invertebrates can be quite challenging. Additionally, removing a sick saltwater fish from a large reef aquarium can be difficult. By quarantining your fish, you give yourself the chance to observe and medicate them before they join the display aquarium. Quarantining must be executed correctly to be effective. First, let's talk about the aquarium itself. I recommend using a 10 or 20-gallon aquarium without substrate. You might need a larger quarantine aquarium for bigger, more active fish. The simpler, the better. You will want to dismantle and sterilize the aquarium after each quarantine period. The aquarium should have a light on a regular day-night cycle, so you can monitor your saltwater fish, along with a heater and thermometer to maintain a stable water temperature. For biological filtration, you can opt for a sponge filter, a power or canister filter filled with plastic filter media. Avoid using crushed coral or carbon in these filters. A sponge filter from the sump of your display aquarium, or a working power filter or canister filter, can be transferred to the quarantine aquarium when you're ready to introduce new fish. Once the quarantine period is over, make sure to sterilize the filter and filter media before returning them to the display aquarium. To achieve this, soak the sponge filter or media, along with the inside of the filter, in a mild chlorine solution, 2% chlorine mixed with tap water, for 24 to 48 hours. After soaking, rinse thoroughly with fresh water until the chlorine odor is completely gone. To confirm that all chlorine has been removed, you can place the sponge or filter media in a bucket of fresh water, or fill a power or canister filter with water and add a chlorine remover. If you don't have a biological filter set up, simply add an air source, like an air stone, and perform regular water changes every 2 to 3 days. Replace about 10 to 15% of the water to avoid waste accumulation. While it's essential to feed the fish properly during the quarantine, be careful not to overfeed. Any uneaten food should be promptly removed from the aquarium. Ensure that the quarantine aquarium has ample hiding spots so that the saltwater fish feel safe and experience less stress. Plastic flower pots with a hole cut in one side, topped with a rock for weight, work well, as do pieces of PVC pipe. Avoid using hard coral skeletons and calcium carbonate substrates, like crushed coral, as they can absorb some medications and are harder to disinfect. Your quarantine aquarium should be positioned away from the display aquarium and equipped with its tools, such as a net, thermometer, and scrubber pad. This separation is crucial to prevent the transfer of parasites from the quarantine tank to the display tank. Additionally, pathogens can be transmitted between aquariums via your hands, so be sure to wash your hands thoroughly after handling anything in the quarantine aquarium. During each quarantine phase, it's essential to disinfect all utensils, decorations, and the aquarium itself. Start by filling the aquarium with water, then immerse the utensils and decorations in it, adding a small amount of chlorine. Allow it to sit for 24 hours. Afterward, drain the water and thoroughly rinse both the aquarium and the accessories, soaking them in tap water mixed with chlorine remover. Keep your saltwater fish in quarantine for a minimum of 3 weeks. Monitor them closely during this time and address any issues immediately. If treatment is required, Ensure they remain in quarantine for at least 10 days post-treatment to confirm their full recovery. If you introduce a new fish to the aquarium while another is still under quarantine, you must restart the entire 3-week process. As a preventive measure, some hobbyists lower the specific gravity in the quarantine aquarium to around 1.011 for about 2 weeks before transferring the fish to the display aquarium. This low salinity can eliminate many parasites. After 2 weeks, gradually raise the specific gravity of the quarantine aquarium before moving the fish. You can achieve this by replacing some of the quarantine aquarium's water with slightly more saline seawater over a few days. Keep a vigilant watch on the specific gravity of the quarantine aquarium, slowly adjusting it to match that of the display aquarium. Even if you don't plan on acquiring new fish, it's wise to have all the necessary components for your quarantine aquarium readily available. If a saltwater fish falls ill in your display aquarium, the quarantine setup can act as a hospital aquarium. It's always advisable to remove a sick fish from the display tank to prevent its tank mates from contracting the same parasitic issue. Setting up a quarantine tank is simple, but it could save your entire aquarium from disaster. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more fish keeping tips. Happy fish keeping, and see you again.